Today I want to share with you one of the longest visions that I had concerning World War III, the rapture and the Great Revival. And I remember that when I had this vision, it was in one of the great watch days of the rapture. And I remember that I didn't, like, even in that vision, I was asking the Lord a lot of questions, and I didn't even share it or even wanted to. And as I saw the signs starting to happen, even from last week, of the things that the Lord showed me, and I was like, wow, everything is happening. Sorry, exactly as the Lord showed me, like bits and bits. It was exactly the same. The scenarios were the same. Even how the Lord will show me how people were dressed. They were exactly dressed like that in those videos as they were coming out on the news. And I said, Lord, I'm sorry that I didn't share this vision before, but it's happening now. And I know that the things that you showed me, that it will happen immediately after these things. And I said, okay, but I will not share it, because if I were to share it, it will be as if I'm sharing it because I'm watching the news. But today has been through prayer and fasting, because the Lord told me to start the 3 a.m. prayers, like asking the Lord things to pray about and all. The Lord said to me, this is the time, because you are in the middle of the vision that I showed you. Yes, those things have started to happen, but I showed you the end. What will be the end of what is happening now in the world? And those things have not yet happened. So you need to share them so that they could understand the love, how much I love them. So that is why I'm sharing the vision, because the Lord said we are in the middle of it. It's still not yet over about the vision, everything that He showed me. So basically, in this vision, how the vision started, it was, I saw this man who was standing in tanks and tanks of oil. And then the Lord said his name is Maduro. So the vision was about Venezuela, because he even said Venezuela. And then I saw him being arrested. I didn't see the actual capture, but I saw him being, like, next to him. There were men who were next to him, and behind him there was a woman. And as I saw that it was a military man, and behind him there was this woman. And I even asked who the woman was, and the Lord said it was his wife. And then the man, I saw him being arrested. The Lord showed me the things that he has done before, and also even the things that he didn't do. And while he was being arrested like that, I saw, in that vision, I was feeling more sorry for the woman. But then as soon as that happened, it triggered something. I saw 2 names being written in the sky. I saw the name Rapture, and I saw the name World War III. And while I was looking at those names, that's where the Lord said we are at even right now. So I need to share what is happening and what is expected. I remember that as I saw these 2 names being written, Rapture and World War III, I remember that I could see nations, different nations, but I could see them by flags, not by their geographic location. I saw the flag of USA, and it was standing as this giant flag. And I saw so many flags opposite USA. It's more like against it. Though some of the flags were standing with USA. Then immediately as I look at that, then underneath USA and under the ground, they came with this missile. It was a nuclear missile that was, like, so horrifying. And even the other nations, which I could see them by flags, they came out with their own, like, weapons, and they were all facing on USA. And while those weapons were all facing at USA like that, and USA was coming out with also this huge and massive weapon. And then the Lord said to me, I've given you the power to stop the spirit. Look close at the weapons. And as I looked close to the weapon, I saw this serpent, the serpentine spirit. It was this huge Leviathan serpentine spirit that was ready to spit out fire from its mouth. And then the Lord said I needed to rebuke it, to stop it. And I said, I've given you power to rebuke this. And I remember that as I was standing there, being horrified that as soon as one of these nations or any of them could release their weapons, everything, nature as we know it around the earth, will be wiped out. It's like, if this nuclear war were to happen, there won't be anyone in the world to talk about World War III, to say how this is how World War III was. And the Lord showed me that the spirit behind it is the spirit of the enemy, because the enemy always wanted to destroy the things of the Lord. And then, even then, knowing how the Lord said it, even in the scriptures, the rumors of war. But let me just go back to the vision as how it was. So immediately after I saw that, then I saw an angel in heaven. Remember, I'm seeing countries by flags, okay, being opposite each other and about to release these weapons on each other. Then I saw an angel being released in heaven. Immediately after the Lord said to me, rebuke the serpent. I saw an archangel being released in heaven, and was carrying a flag. In fact, I saw a flag flying in between these flags, and in this flag it was written peace. And while it is being written peace like that, I saw South Africa. It was a South African flag, and I saw that South Africa was shouting peace. But it wasn't South Africa that was shouting peace. It was this angel that I saw, an archangel that I saw. And then immediately, while I saw that, okay, these 2 events, two words were held in the spirit. Rapture. It was rapture the side, and then it was World War III. And I said, okay, the Lord. I saw that the Lord was holding, like, World War III from happening. And I said, Lord, let rapture be released. Why don't you release this one? And then He said, my people are not ready. If I were to come now, only 4% will be raptured. And then He said, look at what is happening right now. I saw a great revival, and He said, great revival shall be given to them, because they prayed about the great revival, that they want to see the great revival before the coming of the Lord. And after these events, okay, before the great revival event, the scenario of the flags changed. I saw certain flags coming towards South Africa, but they were moving in the waters. And the Lord said to me, these nations, they call them BRICS, because I saw that it was a Russian flag, a Chinese flag, but there was also another third flag that I can't remember. In fact, it was 4 flags. And when they came together, and then they let out also their weapons, and I was horrified that World War III, like, is continuing. While they were letting out their weapon, instead of them letting out bombs and everything, I saw them that instead there was something written, one piece. And when they said one piece, then they started doing a parade. Sort of, they were showing off their weapons, and there was nothing that was being done that was disaster to say that it started war. War didn't start. So then, going back to the scenario of the Great Revival, then the Lord said, when they see that I've held back these events, I've held back because there will be great destruction. It's because of love. And then He said that there will be a greatest harvest during this time. And when he said greatest harvest, I saw thousands and thousands of people coming from nations, and people repenting because understanding what the Lord has done, and because others were, they saw what was happening around the world, so they gave their lives to Christ. So that was the end of it. And then I didn't share it even at that time when it happened. And even now, as I said that, I was like, Lord, but these things have already happened. He said, not all of it has happened. Like, I showed you the outcome. I showed you how the angel was announcing peace from heaven, how World War III was held back for the sake of the great revival. And then, so after seeing all of these things, because after the great revival that I saw, I don't know how long it took, whether it took a week or it took a month, I don't know how long the great revival happened. But soon after the great revival, there was rapture, and there was a great multitude than before. And then he said, this is the great multitude that is coming. I saw a great multitude coming. So, okay. Then, after I've seen what we've been watching on TV, I was amazed at how the events are unfolding. Even right now in South Africa, they are preparing for a parade. And I was like, wow, even how Venezuela, even how Maduro was captured, all of those things are happening. But then the Lord, I wasn't going to share it. The Lord said, they don't know the outcome. They're expecting war to happen. Tell them that there won't be war, because of the love of God. And the Lord showed that he has not given, not even a single human being, not even a single president, the power to destroy his creation in one blow. I know that most presidents, they come in television and threaten everyone and say, I could destroy the whole world 10 times in one blow. But the Lord has not given them that power. And he showed that there was this serpentine spirit behind it. So while all of this was happening, the world war was being held. I saw that these small wars were still happening, like this missile being struck, as we've seen before. We'll hear that Iran has struck this country, that country has struck this, because I saw that some of the flags that were next to each other, you'll find them striking each other. I'll see them by flags. I won't see them by geographic area. Okay. So I asked the Lord, like, after all of this has happened, I said, Lord, I know that everything that has happened, or everything that is happening now, is based on your love, even while we are waiting on the rapture and while we are waiting on you. You said that you'll give time for the great revival. When people see these things happening around the world, they will know that it is your love, and there will be great revival. Like, how much do we have? I wasn't getting any answer. But the only thing that I can share is that day before yesterday, I had a dream where the Lord showed me March 2025 changing to 2026. And he said, March 2026 marks the end. So I don't know the end to what, because I remember that I couldn't see the date in front, what date it was, and I saw that 2025, the 5 at the end was changing to a 6. So he said March 2026 marks the end. So it could be that it's according to God's calendar, that it marks the end of it, or whatever the Lord meant. I believe that we need to take it to the Lord in prayer. So this is what the Lord has revealed, even based on the prayers, because I've been still praying about it to say, Lord, what is it that you want us to pray about? And then he reminded me of that vision, and he reminded me even of how I saw the great revival happening, that as we prayed, the Spirit of the Lord was ministering to people. That's how it happened in that vision. It's not like I would say maybe the Lord will do the great revival however he wants to do it. But in that vision, how I saw it is we were praying, and I saw that the Spirit of the Lord was moving. It was ministering to people, and people were repenting in numbers. So most people, the Lord will minister to them directly. Most of them, they'll have dreams and visions, and others will have even angelic visitation, or whatever the Lord wants it to be. So I just wanted to share those things, that there's a great revival, and I don't know how long we have, and the rapture is at hand, and for people to understand that everything is by the love of God. And during this time, let us do all that the Lord has put in our spirit, and let's take everything to the Lord in prayer. Everything that you hear, you need, let Jesus speak to you, let Jesus confirm it to you. In Jesus' name, amen.